What's happening, guys? It's Sean1604 coming at you with another update on our Football Manager 2012 campaign with Celtic. We're going to have a quick catch up. Last one I done was up to the end of the third season, in which we won the league and the League Cup. So this is a quick catch up. We've now started the next season, played a few games, so I'm going to catch up on all the games and show you what happened at the transfer window, which is now just closed. And I'm also going to show you the draw for what we're hopefully going to get into the Champions League, so we'll show you that as well. So we'll quickly do a roundup. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is show you the total ins and outs. There were a few which we're not showing on the previous video, so we're going to catch up on them, and then we'll, as I said, move on to the fixtures. And we'll start with our incoming players. We showed you all up to about here, up to Ul Lutz. I can't say that guy's name, I'm not going to try. After that I decided, you know what, I'm weak at a few positions and I've not done it before, I'm going to get in some players on loan, why not? It's no harm in it, I'm not paying really much in terms of wages, they're young players, so I'm going to show you these guys. So Alessandro Valente, I don't know. I'm horrible with names, as I've said in previous videos, so bear with me. He's coming in from Man City. He's a young striker, 4-star potential, worth 2.9 million. He's only 18. I'm only paying about 2.2 grand a week, and he's got pretty decent stats. He's good enough at least to be a cover from my strikers at the moment. I thought, why not? I thought, you know, I need some loans in just for the time being to tide me over until these youth team players come through, so this was a good one. Next was Bruma, who I don't know if he's an actual real player or whether he's a regen. I couldn't tell you, I'm not that big on Man U players, if I'm honest, young players. So this guy's 9.75k a week. He's a attacking mid right player worth 2.7 million. Pretty good stats, not as good as what I have at the moment, so again, you know, another backup player, but you know, good to have on the team. Next one to him is Foyd Stevens. He's coming on loan from Feyenoord. I did want to buy this guy. He's not going to really be in my league to buy, if I'm being honest. I think they wanted about 7 million or something for him, which I'm not willing to pay. He has got pretty decent potential, but not, you know, great. That I would say would be worth what the money was they were looking for. He has played pretty well so far. If you look at his stats down here, he's played 6 games, scored 1 goal, at an average rating of 7.86. So you know, pretty good. And if you look at his stats overall, good penalty kick taker, good tackling, good corners, you know, and some mental attributes for considering he's only 21. Good to have as a backup for our midfield. Again, we're a wee bit light there, I felt, so thought why not get him in. The next one, if we just go back, if we get back to this page, there we are. This is the main couple of signings. We've got Ruben Costa. I don't think I showed this guy on the last one. He was just a quick free transfer, 3.5-star potential at the time when I got him. He's only down to 2.5-star now, so that's just a quick update. I don't know if I showed him on the last video, so that's just another one. This was the main one, Agustin Guerrero. With the signings out that I made, the sales, I had a decent amount of money. I had about £6 million with the wages and stuff that I managed to get. I think I had about 6.5 or £7 million to spend, and I've bought this guy, and I was between this guy and another one. The other guy was a bit older and his stats were a wee bit better, but he was about 4 or 5 years older, and I thought, why not get somebody in who's a bit younger? So paid £9.5 million for him. As a big signing for this club, but as you can see down the bottom here, I've actually only spent about 4 million in total this season, so it's not actually that much that I've spent outwards. So we'll show you this guy now. His stats: he's 23, 4-star potential already. He's got great stats. I was looking for a finisher, so he's got 17 finishing, could still develop that. His mental attributes are still going to be developing, but he's got 19 influence, 16 flair, 16 penalty kick taking, and physical stats, another one. They are already really set. It's more the mental stats which will develop up over the next few seasons, I would say, at least until he's about probably 26, 27, that's when they'll develop up to. Paying him 31 grand a week, which is probably the highest paying that I've got at the moment, but I thought, why not? I needed a good striker in, so this was the guy really that fit the bill. Looking down the bottom at his stats here, 8 appearances and 11 goals, an average rating of 8.32, so really happy with how he started coming in to the team, so that's him. And we've had a few players coming in on a free transfer who were are released from Chelsea or Man U or big teams in England. I think one might have been released from Swansea. So these are guys that have just went in on youth contracts into my unders team. So there's Phil Powell, 3.5-star potential. He's a midfielder, so pretty good. John Harvey, 2.5-star potential. Why not take a punt on him? Ian John, 3.5-star potential, defensive mid again. And Liam Wood, who is a striker with 2.5-star potential. So again, another punt. We'll see how he gets on when he's coming through. He could develop to be better than 2.5-star. You can see them developing as you come through. So this guy already has pretty decent stats for an 18-year-old. So I thought he might develop to be pretty decent. We'll see. In terms of outgoings, I showed you most of them. There's a couple of other ones just to quickly catch you up on. There's Scott Brown, who was my captain. He's left. He went to Galatasaray for 1.1 million, which is more than I thought I was going to get for him, to be honest. So I'm quite happy with that. I don't know how much they're actually paying him. They're paying him 37 grand. So he was on about 30, and he wanted about 50 grand at my club, which I was never willing to pay. So I'm quite happy that I got 1.1 million for him. I let this guy go. He was a young player, and also let Tony Watt go. They're the two players that I've released. Melo, Dennis and Freddie Barrios are the ones that do not get work permits. They've all went on loan to Ostend to get some first team experience. Again, two of them, Melo and Dennis, were there last season. Freddie Barrios is going this season, and we'll see how he goes. Rafael Guerrero, who is a left back. I've got in another left back, and I felt like, why not get this guy out on loan, see if he develops at all at Celtic. We'll see. If he develops, we'll keep him. If not, then we'll maybe sell him off. Kyle Ebikilo, who was on loan last season at Crystal Palace, he's went on loan to Aberdeen, who are now in the first division. So they are going to see how he develops here. He wasn't really playing that well at Crystal Palace this season. If I'm honest, I don't think this guy's going to be in the team much longer, but we'll never know. So in total, we spent 12.25 million and we recouped 8.5 million. So we only spent about 4, just less than 4 actually, which was what my transfer budget was for the season. So overall, I've not actually spent that much money when you look at it, but I've got a lot of players out that I felt I didn't need, and I've got some players in which going forward could hopefully make a difference, and a fair few players on loan which I hadn't done before, so that should hopefully make a difference. So next thing we're going to look at is the results for the season so far. Okay, so first result of the season, first meaningful game, if we disregard the friendlies, was an away Champions League qualifier, second round, first leg against Lokomotiv Astana, who are Kazakhstan team. So as you can imagine, I expected to play a pretty decent team against them and win quite comfortably, which I ended up doing in the end. 4-0. Fod Stevens, who is the young guy who's in on fire from Feyenoord, my new striker Augustin Guerrero getting 2, and Prestia, my central defender, picking up a goal probably from a corner. Overall, in terms of stats, we pretty much owned the game. They got 2 shots on target, but we owned the possession and the overall shot, so very happy with that start to the season. We'll show you the next game. So there are a few friendlies in between this game and the last meaningful game. So this was a return leg, leg 2, at home to Lokomotiv Astana. We won 9-0, so really good result. Alvin Arundel, who's a central defender, getting a goal. Prestia, who's another central defender, getting 2 goals. Aleman, who's a wide midfielder who I've actually started playing more because he's been playing pretty well this season. He got a hat-trick. Johan Molo, who's my captain and my left midfield attacking, he got 1, and a new striker Augustin Guerrero getting 2. In terms of the stats, we totally owned them. They got 1 shot, not even on target. We got 67% possession and 34 shots, and 15 on target. So we could have won by more, but I'm happy with that. 9-0, 13-0 overall, easily through to the next round. So next meaningful game after that again was the qualifying 3 leg 1 against Ekranas, I don't know. They are a Lithuanian team, first division in Lithuania, obviously. The away leg we won 7-0. Augustin Guerrero getting a hat trick, new striker. Johan Molo getting a double. Prestia getting 1, and Kiers Grafland, who was my young, as you probably remember from previous videos, my young phenom who's coming through in the centre of midfield. Unfortunately got injured, not in this game, you'll see in a wee minute, but he got injured in training, and he's out for about 2 or 3 months, which is very unfortunate, but that's why we got the backup in, so it's good to have. In terms of possession, 55%, 35 shots to their 1, and they had 1 on target and we had 17, so again owned this game, which I expected to do. And the home leg was an exact carbon copy. 7-0 again. Augustin Guerrero getting a hat-trick, Molo getting 2, they had an own goal, I'm not going to try and say that name, and Nuzet Aleman getting another goal as well, so quite happy with that. Again, possession owned 71%, 32 shots and 14 on target, so very, very comfortable. So that put us through to the next qualifying stage. We had to play in another one, which I'll show you now. Okay, so actually in between this game and the other one, there was the first game in the league, which we won 2-1 away from home against Hearts. Kiers Grafland getting a penalty in the first minute, first 5 minutes. Augustin Guerrero getting another one in the 24th minute. They did score one in between, but we managed to hold on, which I was really happy with. This was a tough game. Hearts are a big team, and they proved to be difficult, so I was quite happy with that. As you can see from the stats, they had more shots. We had more on target. To be fair, we had 8, so we probably should have scored more, but possession wise we were also beat, but it was a good game and I was quite happy to come out with the result on that. Okay, so with the way the format works, because of the way we go into the Champions League, we have to play a playoff leg, depending on where we finish, and the good thing is we don't have to play in the best placed playoff leg, which could be much harder because of teams like Man U. I think Real Madrid were in it this season, so there was some really good teams in that. So I managed to get a come against Apoel, who had already beat a couple of seasons ago, so I was quite confident. Went into this game, managed to get 2 from Kiers Grafland, Alvin Arundel got 1, Molo got 2, and Lee Griffiths also got 1. They got 1 with Pinto and Parana. This was a tough game actually. It doesn't look it when you're looking at the stats down here. We pretty much even on possession in majority of the stats, but it was the first half. We had real trouble where they were going down our left flank, and they scored 2 goals from headers, and I had to change some things around and go more defensive on the right hand side of the midfield and push my winger back to cover their winger, and it actually worked really well. And in the second half we totally owned them and scored 4 goals. I think we went in 2-2 at half time, and then ended up winning 6-2, so I was really happy with that. In the interim time between that game I just showed you and the return leg, we played against Dundee United at home in the league. I don't know if this was tiredness or what, I'm not really sure, but we managed to score 1 in the 73rd minute. We missed a penalty. Fod Stevens missed a penalty on the 35th minute, and they took advantage. They got someone sent off after 81 minutes. I don't honestly know how they managed to score. I had my stuff set at counter and I had everyone push back, but they still managed to break on us and score a goal on the break, which I was really, really, really not happy with. We should have won the game. 15 shots, 8 on target, 54% possession. They only had 2 shots on target, but managed to get a draw, so this was not good. Only played 2 games of the season, so it's time to get it back. Okay, so in the return leg against Apoel, we managed to win 6-0. Totally owned the game, didn't even get a shot, either on target or just in general. Totally owned the possession, we had 28 shots and 10 on target. Goals came from Johan Molo got a 2, Lee Griffiths got 2, Beram Kyle got a 1, which I remember was a pretty good goal, and Alvin Arundel also getting 1 in the 84th minute, so this was a total own game. I ended up winning 12-2 on aggregate. So the 3 Champions League games were proved to be much easier than my league games. Managed to win them. I think the first one was something like 16-0 away on aggregate, 14-0 the second one, and this one was 12-2 on aggregate, so pretty comfortable all 3 of the games, so I'm quite happy with that. So yeah, we'll jump in and show you the league quick. So the 2 games we've played in the league puts us in 3rd place at the moment. Rangers are still got a game in hand, and so do Hibernian. So we've got 4 points. Motherwell have got 6 points. They are going to be the team to watch this season. They have been spending big. They actually came up from the 1st division last season. They went down in the season previous to that. They went down to the 1st division, but they were taken over just before they went down to the 1st division by a consortium who have been spending a lot of money. They've been spending at least $1 million or $2 million on players, so they're probably in the leagues probably with me and Rangers. I've seen Rangers buying some pretty awful players, if I'm honest, with about maybe less than 100 grand, so I think they possibly might be going backwards. I think really Motherwell are the team to watch going forward. They've got, you know, as you can see if you look on the right hand side here, they've bought some pretty good players. They've got one which is Francis Turkson, who I'm keeping an eye on, but he's going to be getting bought from another team. He looks to be really good player, but I don't think I'm going to be able to buy him myself. We don't have the money at the moment, unfortunately, but this is definitely, I think, going to be the team I'm competing with along with Rangers this season. I think it's going to be probably tougher this season than it was in the previous 2 seasons to win the league, but you know, that's what we're looking for, and again we're pushing on with our under-19s team to hopefully in the next few years bringing them through to make a big difference in the first team. We've already got a couple of players through, so it's just a case of trying to bring them through more as time goes on. So yeah, the next thing we're going to do is show you the draw for the Champions League. Okay, so we're going to jump into the draw. We've been seeded 4th as per usual. Happy we managed to get into the group stage though, because it gives us about £7 million just simply from that, and then obviously you get TV money at the end of the when the Champions League finishes, and then obviously you get money for every game you win. So it's just simply good to be in there, even if we don't manage to get through. I'm hoping this season, fingers crossed, at least if we don't get if we get as bad a group as we got last year, at least if we get through and manage to get into the Europa League or Euro Cup or whatever, if we manage to at least finish 3rd, I'll be happy with that. But I'd like to possibly try and get through to the last 16, but you never know. So we'll jump in here and we'll show you the teams. So we'll draw everyone up to obviously the 4th seed, which is the groups that we will be going into, or that'll be when we'll get getting draw. So we'll draw everyone up to there. There we go. We'll see if there's any good groups or any bad groups after we do this. Okay, so we've got Barcelona, Shakhtar and Copenhagen, so that's not too bad. I think I could take Shakhtar and Copenhagen possibly if I play well. Barcelona's obviously going to be winning that one, I would have thought. SLB, Milan and Olympiacos, that's a tough one. I still think that's not too bad a group, if I'm being honest, but AC Milan, I think I did give them a decent game last season, but I think hopefully this time get my tactics better, I can maybe give them a better go. Chelsea, Olympic Lyon, and Ruben Kazan. Again, not too bad. I think I could possibly take Lyon and Ruben, but Chelsea will be the big one in that one. Bayern, Tottenham and Anderlecht, that's a tough one, because Bayern and Tottenham are also going to be good, and Anderlecht probably they'll be the ones I'll be competing with for 3rd. Real Madrid, Porto and Dortmund, that's a good group as well. Arsenal, Olympic Marseille and Dynamo Kiev, that one's not too bad. Inter, Atletico Madrid and 20, that's a pretty hard group. Man United, Seville and Cologne. There's a few groups in there I'd be happy with, but there's a few that would be really hard as well, so we'll see. Let's see where we get drawn. We're actually the highest coefficient here, which is good to see. 36, that's just no. Then anyway, let's draw the teams. So Sheriff go in Group A, we go in Group B, so we have SLB, AC Milan and Olympiacos. I'm quite happy with that. I think we could at least get 3rd out of that and hopefully try and push for 2nd. I think that's a pretty good group. I think there's a few there that could have been worse than that. Galatasaray go in Group C, Dinamo Bucharest go in Group D, Aviv Tel Aviv go in Group E, Sparta Prague go in Group F, Fenerbahce and Sampdoria. So I'm quite happy with that, if I'm being honest. We'll see what the schedule throws up once we continue this. We'll see where the games go, but I'm quite happy with how that's progressing, if I'm being honest. I think we could hopefully do something there and push on to the next, as I said, if not to the last 16, at least get into the Europa Cup, but we'll see how we go. So let's see, view groups, here we are. So if we jump into our group matches, does not show. So yeah, so the first game we have is away to Olympiacos, and the next game is at home to AC Milan, at home to SLB, away to SLB, so that'll be the one we'll be looking at, the home and away one, and then at home to Olympiacos, and then away to AC Milan. So that'll be a hard finishing game, the away to AC Milan and at home to Olympiacos. I think they could make or break the ties, really. That could be the big one. But hope you enjoyed the video. You can see now where we are in the league and our transfers and the Champions League, so hopefully, fingers crossed, we do a little bit better than we did last season in Champions League. That's what we're pushing for. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Please comment, subscribe below, and if you've got any questions, please post them and I'll be happy to answer them. Cheers, bye.